Hi, I'm the multifarious fisherman. This is Seven Fish, and what we're trying to do today is answer a comment that we got. We regularly ask you guys if there's anything you want to see or are interested in having us film a video for, and we finally got somebody who said, hey, can you do this? So we're doing it. What we're trying to do here is give you tips to make you dangerous. I think Chris Herman may have been his name. Chris, this is for you. He had asked about our method for putting line on a reel. It's a point that I intended to cover, but not necessarily right away. And I apologize that I didn't get this done sooner, but I've been out of town. So the question of how do I spool a reel is a little dependent upon the reel I'm trying to spool. If I'm spooling a standard bait caster, I think it's old Corrado here. When I'm spooling a reel like this, it has a little different technique to it than this is the NASCI or NASI or whatever Shimano calls this particular reel. It used to be a Symmetry, which was easier to pronounce, but it is what it is. This spinning reel, which we've done a video on in the past, is spooled differently than the bait cast reel. Spinning reels in general spool differently than a bait cast reel. There's also the closed-faced reel, which is sort of a cousin to this reel because the line is put on by something rotating around the spool, and the spool sits this way, not this way. They're done a little differently. On a bait cast reel, when the line comes off, it comes off pretty straightforward and without twist. With a spinning reel, when the line comes off the end of the spool, it comes off with some rotation. It's hard to see with this, but I have a tool. An example. Remember when these were hard to buy? Sorry. When you take line off of a spool like a bait cast reel does, there's no twist added. There's no twist in this line coming off or this paper coming off of this spool. When you take line off in the way that a spinning reel is taken off, notice that every rotation adds a twist. Because of that, when you spool a standard spinning reel, you're adding twist. The function of rotating the bail around the spool, like this, adds twist. The line coming off of the spool adds twist. Now, they're in twist in different directions, and we apply what I like to refer to as a twist equation. If I rotate this handle and cause twist in one direction in that line, every rotation will add one twist. If I open the bail and take that line off, it's every rotation around the spool adds one twist, but it's in the opposite direction. So you can think of it like this. I reel, I add twist, I cast, I lose twist. And because the spool stays the same size throughout, you get a balanced twist equation. If I had a pencil. I don't have a pencil. If I put a pencil through this spool and I take the line off like this and I put it into a bait cast reel, I've got no twist going into the reel, I've got no twist coming off of the spool. Balanced, good. If I take a line off of this spool with a pencil through it, like this, no twist in any direction. When it goes into the spinning reel, I have twist in the direction the reel's spinning. So you end up with twist, which is less good. If you take a spinning reel, let's go back to that. Bait cast reel, spool. Line goes into the top of a bait cast reel, comes off the top of the spool, put a pencil through it, out of here, into here, no problem. Very standard, been doing it for years, not a big deal. Put a pencil through here, reel it into here, twist aplenty. One per rotation of the bail. Not a huge deal, but twist. What I encourage you to do is look at the reel from the back. Not the way I'm looking at it, the way you're looking at it. From the back of the reel, you can see this is rotating in a counterclockwise rotation for you. For me, clockwise, because I'm looking at the front. But from where you're looking at it, counterclockwise. If you take this and you look over the back of it and you put a spool of line on the floor, you will see the line come off in one direction. If you flip the spool, you'll see it come off in the opposite direction. If your line is coming out of this spool, when you're looking over the back of your reel and the spool is behind it on the floor, if this is rotating counterclockwise and the line is coming out of this counterclockwise, you're good. You will get the least amount of twist. You won't get no twist. Well, why wouldn't you get no twist? They're going the same direction, should be no twist. Yeah, but this spool is small. This spool is bigger. When I reel this one time around, this is not going a whole rotation. Therefore, my twist equation, we're going back to that again, of this, every time that bail spins, add one twist. Every time it comes off of here, deduct one twist. This reel is going to rotate more times than this line coming off because of the difference in the diameter. 2 to 1, 3 to 2, I don't know exactly what the ratio will be, but you add the number of twists here, the rotations, and you deduct the number of rotations here, that's the number of twists you're going to have in your line. That will be less than what you would have had if you put a pencil in. And on the other side of it, if you set this down the wrong way so that your reel appears to be rotating in one direction and your line is coming off of here in the opposite direction, you will take the number of twists that this makes and add the number of twists that this makes. For a very large number of twists, that's not good. That's definitely not what you want, because when you cast, you won't deduct enough twists to make up for the amount of twists you put in. Now you take it to a store. They take the spool off, they put it in a machine, they put this on the machine, they spin the line in on the bottom of this, coming off of the bottom of this, everything's hunky-dory. No big deal. No twist here, no twist here. Goes into your spool, brand new, ready to go, no twist. That's probably the best way to do it. But if you're in a pinch and you need to do it at home, or sometimes in a bigger pinch and need to do it on the water, that's the best method for a spinning reel, is lay this down so that they rotate in the right direction, so that they're coming off without crossing each other over a bunch. You put it the wrong way, it's going to cross over a bunch. You put it the right way, it's going to cross over less, but this is still making fewer rotations than this. That's going to be the best twist scenario for your spinning reel. Having said that, we did a mock smash review and first baitcaster, how to set up your baitcaster video. Good video. It's got, I don't know, 8,000 views, something like that. I do show spooling that combo on the water with a technique that I really like, and I don't remember where I picked it up, but it actually works pretty good, and will, because it doesn't have a pencil through it, will allow the spool to spin to let the line out, but also rotate around an axis without having something in there holding it from doing that. It's got a little resistance from the water. I'll roll that clip so you can see how that worked, but I like that method too. I get asked with some regularity what the best way to spool a new reel is, and there's different answers to that based on what kind of reel you're throwing, but a spooling machine is best, but most people don't have access to one, so I'm going to show you kind of a handy way to do it if you're around a body of water, or even if you're at home. I'm going to San Diego jam this. A lot of guys just use a basic arbor knot, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is not a particularly strong knot, but you're never going to get down to it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do to start spooling this is I'm going to drop this spool of line in the water. At home you could use a 5-gallon bucket full of water. I'm gonna let the spool ride right in the water as I spool this onto my reel. There, and that's done. I want to thank you for joining us today and every time that you join us. And I hope if you're enjoying the content that you are subscribed. We get a lot of views from people that are not subscribers. That's fine, no issues, but we are getting real close to 1,000 subscribers. We've got a lot of view time, which I feel good about, but subscribers not quite where our goal is, and as such, I appreciate you if you push that button, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, to the YouTuber thing. I appreciate you for joining us. We'll put a video out this Friday and pretty much every Friday, and we put out a video like this on Tuesday, pretty much every Tuesday. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you later in the week.